At my brother's wedding reception, I stood like a fool in a tailored suit I couldn't afford, watching a slideshow meant to celebrate love. Then it came. The screen flickered once, twice, and then froze. Infertile, divorced failure, high school dropout, low income, single. Laughter exploded. My brother, Grant, raised his glass, that smug smirk curling up like he'd waited years for this moment. "Don't laugh too much," he said to the room. "He might cry." My mother, wine glass in hand, laughed like it was scripted. My father let out a low chuckle, the same way he used to when I'd screw up my multiplication tables in 3rd grade. But it was her laugh that pierced something deep inside me. Cold, sharp, crystal. My wife, Melanie, was laughing. Hard. She leaned toward my sister-in-law, wiping fake tears from her eyes. "God, who wrote that?" "Spot on." I looked at her. Tight red dress. Lips glossed. She didn't even flinch when she noticed my stare. No embarrassment. No remorse. Just that same vacant look she gave me every time I asked, "Are we okay?" It had been building up. I should have known. The cold shoulders. The way she started going out more. Girls' nights, she called them. Though they ended at 2 a.m. and left perfume stains on her blouse I didn't recognize. The locked phone. The way she started calling me buddy instead of babe. But this wasn't just betrayal. It was public execution. I reached into my jacket, pulled out my phone, tapped one word. "Begin." The room went silent. Confusion rippled. I took a deep breath and walked up to the mic, pretending I had a toast. I could feel Melanie watching me, tilting her head like I'd just grown a second one. But it was too late now. The wheels were in motion. "I'd like to say something," I said calmly. "You all laughed. Thought it was a good joke. Well, so do I." I nodded to the DJ. The music stopped. The lights dimmed. A new video appeared on the screen. My video. My edit. Weeks of footage I had compiled. Secretly. Quietly. Painfully. Slide 1. A hotel lobby at midnight. Melanie walks in, heels clicking, smiling up at a man with a jawline carved from granite. She kisses him. Not a friendly peck. A soul-snatching lip lock. Slide 2. A text thread. "Melanie, he still thinks I'm at yoga lol. Unknown number. Told you he's a loser. You're wasting your time. Melanie, not for long. He's got a tiny savings. I'll milk it then bounce." Slide 3. Audio. My voice. Her voice. From a bug I placed under the couch. "Me. You said you were at therapy." "Melanie, I was. Just not the kind you think." Laughter turned to gasps. People squirmed. My brother looked like he'd swallowed his tie. But I wasn't done. Slide 4. Melanie and the same man, shirtless, in my car. My F********* ing car. And then the final scene. The one I saved for the grand finale. A security cam clip from our bedroom. Not explicit, but loud enough. Her voice moaning, not my name. Her giggle after. "God, he never touches me like that. He's too busy crying about his failures." I stepped back from the mic. No one was laughing now. I locked eyes with her. She wasn't laughing either. She was frozen. Pale. That red lipstick now looking like a blood smear on a porcelain doll. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. And that's when I said it. Calmly, quietly. "You broke me, Melanie. And now, I'm going to rebuild. Without you." I dropped the mic literally. Let it fall. The clang echoed like a gunshot. And I walked out of that wedding. Out of that nightmare. Out of that life. But trust me, this was just the beginning. 2 weeks before that wedding, I found her phone on the bathroom sink. It wasn't even locked. That's what caught me off guard the most. Melanie was always the type to change passwords like she changed outfits. Daily. But that day, maybe she was just careless. Maybe she didn't think I'd look. I didn't mean to snoop. I swear I didn't. But when I saw a notification pop up from Aiden Gym, something didn't sit right. She never mentioned a trainer named Aiden. And I'd never seen her go to the gym. So I opened it. The first message was simple. "Same time tonight?" I scrolled. My hands started shaking. "Aiden, you looked insane in that dress yesterday. That color does things to me." "Melanie, you should see what I'm wearing now." I kept scrolling. The deeper I went, the darker it got. Pictures. Audio clips. Even a meme about husbands who don't satisfy. Sent by her. Laughed at by him. I didn't throw the phone. I didn't scream. I just stood there, staring at my own reflection in the mirror, trying to remember the last time she looked at me with hunger. The last time she touched me without flinching. The last time she said my name like it meant something. It was all fake. The I love you texts. The cuddles on the couch during Netflix nights. The soft kisses before work. Every damn thing. That night, I didn't confront her. No, I needed more. I needed confirmation. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I followed her. She told me she was having drinks with her friend Natalie. Even kissed my cheek before walking out in heels I hadn't seen before. But I was already waiting in the car 10 minutes ahead of her, parked across the street from our apartment. She didn't go to the bar she mentioned. She didn't meet Natalie. She drove straight to a condo on the edge of town. I waited 15 minutes, then knocked on the neighbor's door, pretending I was looking for a lost dog. The neighbor, a sweet older woman, told me everything. Oh, the lady in the red car? She comes here all the time. Usually Thursday nights. She's seeing the man in 4B. Tall, dark hair, kind of smug-looking. I nodded, smiled, thanked her, and walked away before I threw up in the bushes. Back home, I didn't sleep. I laid on the couch, eyes open, staring at the ceiling fan spinning like my thoughts. Why? That question haunted me the most. Why lie? Why pretend? Why keep me in the dark when she could have just ended it? The next morning, she walked in whistling, threw her keys on the counter like nothing happened, walked past me on the couch and said, "You're up early." I said nothing, just watched her walk into the kitchen, pour herself some orange juice like she wasn't destroying my entire world sip by sip. That's when I started the plan. I bought many cameras, hid them behind the picture frames, inside the smoke detector, in the damn air vent. I installed an audio recorder beneath the couch and synced her phone to an old iPad without her knowing. And day by day, I collected proof. Hours of proof. At night, I watched her sleep and wondered who she was dreaming about. In the morning, I smiled like nothing was wrong. I kissed her goodbye, knowing she'd meet him that afternoon. Every lie she told, I let it happen. Let it pile up. Let her hang herself with her own words. One day, she left her laptop open. That was when I found her email. She'd been emailing a lawyer. My lawyer. The same one who helped my cousin through his divorce. "Can we proceed without him knowing?" she wrote. "I want to secure the house and savings before he figures it out." She was going to take everything. My name. My dignity. My home. And leave me with nothing. No, I wasn't going to let her walk away clean. So I waited. Patiently. Until the biggest stage I could find. My brother's wedding. Where she'd feel safe. Comfortable. Arrogant. That's what led to the moment when I said begin. I let her walk into her own funeral. And as her lies crumbled in front of every person who once admired her, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Relief. But the storm wasn't over. Because after I walked out of that wedding, she came running after me. And what she said next, that's when everything changed. She caught up to me in the parking lot, heels clacking on the asphalt like gunshots. Her face was flushed, not from shame. No, that emotion was foreign to Melanie, but from fury. "You planned that?" she hissed, eyes wide, lips trembling. "At your brother's wedding? What the hell is wrong with you?" I turned slowly, keeping my hands in my pockets so she wouldn't see them shaking. Not from fear. From holding back. "You humiliated me in front of your entire family," she snapped. I laughed. Honest to God laughed. A short, bitter one. "You? Humiliated?" I took a step closer. "You lied. You cheated. You planned to rob me blind. And I humiliated you." She flinched, but stood her ground. That was Melanie. Never retreat, just repackage the lie. "It wasn't like that," she said, voice softer now, more calculated. "It just happened. You and I, we've been dead for a long time. You stopped touching me. You stopped making me feel like a woman." I leaned in so close she could smell every ounce of the pain radiating off me. "You want to feel like a woman? Then act like one." Her eyes darted away for the first time. Her armor cracked, if only for a second. "You don't know what it's like," she said, suddenly teary. "To live with someone who's always disappointed. You didn't even try anymore. You became boring. Small. You let yourself shrink. That did it. That screen in there," I said, pointing back toward the venue. "That wasn't just a joke, was it? You helped them write it." She didn't answer. "You think I didn't notice you laughing the loudest?" Still nothing. "You always hated that I wasn't some six-figure baller. That I didn't take you to Paris or buy you a new car every year. You thought you settled." She opened her mouth, but I cut her off. "You know what the funny part is?" I whispered. "You settled for me, and still found someone worse." That landed. Her face twitched. Her chin shook. She blinked fast. "Don't talk about Aiden." "So that's his name." "Aiden." I let it roll off my tongue like filth. The guy who sends you gym selfies and screws you in my car. Her slap came fast. Too fast for me to stop it. But I didn't react. Just stood there. Let it sting. Feel better? I asked, barely blinking. You ruined everything, she said. Everything was fine until you decided to play detective. No, I replied. Everything was fake. There's a difference. She looked around. Guests were still inside, unaware that the real drama had spilled into the parking lot. Her mascara was smudged. Her lipstick faded. For the first time since we met, Melanie looked like she didn't know how this story ended. I'll make sure you regret this, she spat. You already made sure of that, I said. You just didn't count on me waking up. I turned my back to her and walked to my car. Got in. Started the engine. She stood there, arms wrapped around herself, suddenly smaller than she'd ever seemed before. I drove home in silence. No music. No calls. Just the low hum of tires on pavement and the echo of my own heartbeat. The house was dark. Our house. The place we swore we'd grow old in. Now it just felt like a crime scene. I walked in, sat on the edge of the couch, and let the quiet swallow me. That's when the messages started. Melanie, you don't understand. He's not who you think he is. Melanie, he's dangerous. I needed protection. Melanie, please talk to me. I read them all. Every last desperate attempt to rewrite the narrative. Then came the photo. A selfie of her. Crying. Sitting on the steps outside the venue. Caption, I still love you. I stared at it. Cold. Empty. Love? Love doesn't lie to your face while planning your downfall. Love doesn't twist truth until you forget who you are. Love doesn't shatter you for sport and blame you for bleeding. No, that wasn't love. That was Melanie. And Melanie was done. But I wasn't. Not yet. The next morning, I woke up on the living room floor, fully clothed, stiff from the couch I never made it to. My phone buzzed nonstop, messages from friends, family, even my boss. The video had gone viral. Someone had recorded the screen at the wedding and posted it. Man exposes cheating wife in front of wedding guests. Brutal, it read. Hundreds of thousands of views overnight. I didn't care about any of it. The only thing I cared about was the envelope on the kitchen counter. Melanie's handwriting. My name on the front. Inside, 3 things. The wedding ring I gave her, a key to the safety deposit box we shared, and a handwritten note. I messed up. I know there's no excuse, but I swear, I didn't want it to end like this. I was scared. Scared of how small our life got. Scared of being stuck. I didn't plan to fall for him. It just happened. I'm sorry, Eric. I really am. You deserved better. She was right. I did deserve better. I sat down at the table and stared at that ring, that hollow metal circle that once meant forever. It didn't even feel real anymore. Like some relic from a different life, a life I barely remembered. At noon, I got a call from my lawyer. I'd reached out the night before, after everything. His voice was firm, clear. We're moving forward with the freeze. Joint assets, accounts, the house, everything. I'll need signatures today. That's when it clicked. Melanie thought I was weak. Soft. A broken man still begging to be touched. But the man she used to know was gone. That guy had bled out on the living room carpet months ago. I was someone else now. I put on my shoes, grabbed the paperwork, and drove downtown. Signed every document like I was carving her name out of my life with a blade. The clerk at the desk didn't ask questions. She just stamped, clipped, filed. Done. I stopped at a cafe on the way home. Ordered black coffee and nothing else. I couldn't taste food lately. Could barely sleep. But I could think. And the thoughts didn't stop. I wondered how long it had been going on. How many times she lied to my face while lying under someone else. I wondered if it ever meant anything to her. If she ever looked at me and felt even one real thing. When I got home, she was waiting in the driveway. No makeup. Hoodie. Sweatpants. It was the first time I'd seen her without her mask since before the wedding. She ran up before I could park, waving her arms like she was drowning and thought I was the last lifeboat. Eric, please. Just let me explain. I got out and locked the door behind me. There's nothing left to explain. Her voice cracked. He's not who I thought he was. He's been threatening me. He said if I leave him, he'll tell everyone things that'll ruin me. I almost laughed. You think I care who you've been to him? You ruined yourself, Melanie. She grabbed my wrist. Desperation in her touch. Please. I don't want to lose everything. I looked her dead in the eyes. You already did. And then she said the thing that burned straight through me. You think anyone else will want you? After what they saw? After what they know now? That's when I realized she wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry for what it cost her. I yanked my hand away and walked past her, left her standing there like a statue, frozen in her own arrogance. Back inside, I poured myself another coffee, sat down, watched the security footage of her and Aiden one last time, not because I needed the pain, but because I needed to remember who she truly was, who I'd married, who I'd let in. The man in the video wasn't just taking what was mine, he was smirking while doing it, like he knew I'd never do anything about it. But he was wrong. I picked up my phone, not to call her, to call him. I had his number, found it in her synced contacts. It was time we had a talk. The phone rang twice. Then he answered. Yeah. Hey, Aiden, I said, calm as death. Remember me? He paused. Who the hell? You know exactly who I am. And I know exactly who you are. Let's meet. Why would I? Because if you don't, I'll send every message, every video, every photo to your job, your family, your damn pastor if you have one. He went quiet. Then, where? I smiled. Neutral ground. Tomorrow. You'll know when and where. Just be ready. Click. Let the games begin. The next morning, I sent him the location, an old, empty parking lot behind a shuttered diner on Route 87. Noon. Broad daylight. I wanted him exposed. No shadows for him to hide in. I parked first, got out, leaned against the hood, arms crossed, phone in my pocket, a small black flash drive in my hand. All the footage, every message, everything. At exactly 12:06, a silver Mercedes pulled in. Of course it was a Mercedes. Aiden stepped out like he was walking onto a movie set. Aviators, leather jacket. Like this was just another day for him. You wanted to talk, he said, hands raised slightly like I was a cop. I didn't move. Not talk. I want you to listen. He scoffed. Look, man, I get it. You're pissed. But I didn't force her to do anything. If your wife was crawling all over me, maybe the problem wasn't me. I stepped forward, slow, measured. He flinched just a little. Here's what's going to happen, I said, holding the flash drive between two fingers. You're going to disappear from her life. No messages. No calls. No late-night hotel runs. You're a ghost now. He smirked. Or what? You'll fight me in a parking lot. I tossed the flash drive. He caught it. That's a copy, I said. On there is everything. I also sent it to 5 people. If anything happens to me, it goes public. If I see your face again, it goes public. If I even hear your name, guess what? Yeah, he muttered, glancing down at the drive. I took a step closer. No, you don't get it. You were just a symptom. She was the disease. But now I'm the cure. He stared at me for a second, then slowly nodded. She told me you were soft. Guess she was wrong. Dead wrong. I said, turning away. Now run along. You've already been deleted. I didn't wait for his response. Back in my car, I felt lighter. Not healed. Not happy. Just lighter. Like I'd shed the last dead layer of skin that still clung to the old version of me. But fate doesn't let you breathe that easy. I pulled into my driveway and saw 2 police cars parked out front. 2 uniformed officers and a detective were waiting. One of them walked over. Eric Marston? I nodded, instantly tense. We received a complaint. Melanie filed a restraining order against you this morning. Says you've been threatening her and another man. Says she fears for her safety. I actually laughed. The cop blinked. Do I look like I've been threatening anyone? Look, we're just doing our job, the detective said. But if you've got anything to say, now's the time. I pulled out my phone, showed him the synced messages. Her emails. The footage of her planning to clean me out. Of her and Aiden. Their faces changed. Especially the detectives. You want us to believe she's setting you up? She already tried, I said. She just didn't expect I'd start recording first. He took the phone. We'll need to review this. Take your time, I said. I've got backup copies, just in case. They left without cuffs. That was something. But it confirmed what I already knew. She wasn't just wicked. She was dangerous. Later that night, she texted again. Melanie, you've made this worse than it needed to be. Now everyone hates me. Even my mother won't return my calls. Melanie, you think you won. You didn't. You just nuked both our lives. Melanie, I hope you rot in that empty house. She was wrong. The house wasn't empty. It was peaceful, quiet, real. The next day, I got a letter in the mail. Her lawyer this time. She was filing for spousal support, claiming emotional distress. My lawyer laughed when he saw it. Let her try? This isn't going to end the way she thinks. I went into the garage and pulled out the box labeled Our Wedding. It was dusty, heavy. Inside, photo albums, invitations, a dried flower from her bouquet, cards with fake promises. I took it all outside, lit a match, and I watched it burn. The flames were slow at first, hesitant, like even the fire didn't want to touch something so soaked in lies. But then the corner of a wedding photo caught, the one where she was smiling up at me like I was the center of her world, and the whole box went up. Her handwriting curled into smoke. The lace ribbon from our invitation shriveled into ash. I didn't move. I just stood there in the cold, watching years of carefully packaged betrayal dissolve into black dust. My phone buzzed in my pocket. It was Grant, my brother, the one who'd smirked at my humiliation like it was part of the entertainment. "Hey man," he started, voice unusually quiet. I didn't know it was real. I thought it was a gag. Something you were in on." "Yeah," I said, not hiding the ice in my voice. "Look, I was wrong. I didn't get it. But Mom told me everything. She's devastated." Mom laughed. "I know. But she didn't know the full story either. Nobody did." He hesitated. "You coming to Thanksgiving?" I almost laughed again. "You think I want to sit at a table with people who clapped while my life got dragged through the mud?" He went quiet. I hung up. The next day, Melanie tried calling. Twice. Then again, blocked number. I didn't answer. But I saved every voicemail. Her voice, once so smug, now cracked and frantic. "Eric, please. You're destroying my life. Do you get that? You've turned everyone against me. My job, my friends, they're all pulling away." Pause. A shaky breath. "I didn't mean for this to spiral. I thought maybe we could just fix it. Start over. I made a mistake." That word. Mistake. Like she tripped and fell into another man, night after night. Then her tone shifted. "But if you think I'm going to sit back and let you ruin me, think again. I will fight you. And I will win. You were always too weak to keep me, and now you're too bitter to let go. That's pathetic." Click. It should have hurt. But it didn't. It confirmed everything I needed to know. She hadn't changed. She wouldn't. That same day, Aiden posted a video online. Some kind of sleazy attempt at damage control. Him in a muscle tee. All. I never meant to hurt anyone. And feelings just happened. He looked half drunk. Or maybe fully stupid. The comments section tore him apart. "You bragged about it 2 months ago on your story. Don't act like you care now. Homewreckers always play victim when they get caught. Dude, she's not even hot enough to ruin your reputation over." BFR. It was beautiful. Melanie's world was unraveling. Fast. Her job put her on leave, pending an internal review. Her little circle of Instagram friends stopped tagging her. She turned off comments. Hid her likes. I didn't say a word. Just watched the quiet collapse. Then, late one night, there was a knock at the door. I checked the peephole. Her. I almost didn't open it. But I wanted to see her. One last time. She looked like hell. No makeup, hoodie draped over her like a cape of defeat. Her hair tied back, eyes swollen. "I didn't know where else to go," she said, voice barely above a whisper. I didn't respond. Just let her stand there, twisting her fingers like a nervous kid. "I lost everything," she said. "Do you understand that? Everything. Because of one mistake." "You didn't lose it," I said. "You threw it out the window while smiling." She stepped closer. "Eric, I don't love him. I never did. It was a fantasy. He's nothing like you." "You're right," I said. "He's exactly like you." She blinked. "I'm sorry." "No, you're desperate." I took a step back. "You don't get to come in. You don't get to cry on my couch and tell me you're broken. You broke yourself. Now go fix it without dragging me back into your mess." Tears welled up. She opened her mouth, maybe to beg, maybe to yell. I shut the door before she could decide. And for the first time in months, I slept. No dreams. No nightmares. Just peace. But I knew this wasn't the end. Not yet. Because when someone like Melanie loses control, she doesn't walk away. She reloads. The following morning, there was a scratch down the side of my car. Deep. Fresh. Like a key had been dragged slow and angry across the paint. She was escalating. I didn't need cameras to know it was her. It had her signature, just enough damage to send a message, not enough for jail time. Not yet. I filed a report with the police. Officer didn't seem surprised. "She's not the first to lose it when the walls start closing in," he said as he filled out the form. "Keep your phone on you. And install cameras if you haven't already." Too late, I thought. Already ahead of you. After he left, I checked the footage. Sure enough, 2:13 a.m. Hoodie, hair tied back, sneakers. Even from behind, I could tell it was Melanie. She moved like she owned the world, like consequences were for other people. I forwarded the clip to my lawyer. An hour later, Melanie texted me. Melanie, you're filming me now? That's how you want to play it? Me, you're not untouchable anymore. No reply. That same afternoon, her lawyer called mine. Said she wanted to negotiate. That was code for she was scared. I let her sweat. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. Then came the call. From a blocked number. Eric, a voice said, low and shaking. This is Amanda. I used to work with Melanie. I sat up straighter. Okay, I think you should know. She's saying things. To people at work. Stuff about you. Personal things. She's trying to spin everything like you were abusive. Controlling. She's even showing old text messages, out of context, to make it look like you were unstable. Of course she was. Melanie didn't just destroy people in private. She rewrote history to survive in public. Why are you telling me this? I asked. A pause. Because she said the same things about me. To my fiancé. Got between us. She's poison, Eric. And I'm tired of pretending she isn't. I thanked her. Hung up. Sat there in silence. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It was about survival. About truth. I pulled up the voice recordings. I had hundreds of hours. Conversations, arguments, private chats she never knew were being saved. Not because I planned this all along, but because somewhere deep down, I think I always knew the fall was coming. Now I had to decide how far I was willing to go. Did I want revenge? Or did I want peace? Both, maybe. A week later, we met in a mediation room. Neutral ground. 2 lawyers, 1 mediator, and us. She looked thinner. Her hands trembled as she sipped water. But her eyes? Still sharp. Still calculating. She didn't look at me. The mediator began. Legal talk. Terms. Assets. Proposed splits. Then Melanie finally spoke. I want the house. I laughed out loud. She turned to me, face burning. It was supposed to be ours. You mean the house you were going to secretly claim after draining our accounts? That was before, she said through clenched teeth. Before you made me look like a monster. You made yourself look like a monster. Our lawyers tried to calm us, but I leaned forward, looked her dead in the eyes. This house was built with sacrifice. With hours I hated working just so you could post fake happiness online. You don't get to keep the stage after the show's over. Her voice cracked. You don't get to win everything. I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to bury what's dead. She stared at me for a long time, then finally said, fine, take it. Take everything. But just know this, someday, someone's going to leave you again. And you'll remember me. You'll always remember me. I nodded. I will. Every time I hear a lie wrapped in perfume. When it was over, I walked out of that building like I was walking out of a burning wreckage, alive, scarred, but not defeated. She'd left bruises no one would ever see. Bruises that came with betrayal, not fists. But even so, I was still standing. I drove home, parked in front of my scratched car, unlocked the door to the house that was now mine, and sat in the silence she used to fill with noise and drama and perfume that never belonged to me. I looked in the mirror and saw someone else. Someone rebuilt. And for the first time in years, I smiled. A few months passed. Seasons shifted. The house was quieter now, but it didn't echo. It breathed. I repainted the walls. Got rid of the furniture she picked. Sold the fake marble dining table she used to pose with on Instagram. I replaced it with a heavy oak table I built with my own hands. Rough. Real. Solid. The silence no longer haunted me. It healed me. I got back into running. Not to chase anything, just to feel motion. To feel alive. I started eating right again. Sleeping. Dreaming. There were nights I still woke up drenched in sweat, heart pounding from flashes of her voice, her laugh, that twisted smile. But they faded faster now. Like ghosts with no strength left to haunt. One evening, I sat on the porch as the sun set, a cold beer in hand. No phone, no distractions. Just the breeze and the distant bark of a dog somewhere down the block. That's when it hit me. Everything I'd lost. It wasn't really loss. It was clearance. A brutal reset. She didn't just betray me. She did me a favor. She pulled the mask off a life I was pretending to be content with. And yeah, it shattered everything. But now I could see clearly. Finally, I wasn't broken anymore. I was rebuilt. Not the same man. Not softer. Not colder. Sharper. I thought about all the signs I ignored. The lies I excused. The dignity I traded for comfort. And if I could give one piece of advice to the next man caught in the same storm, it would be this. Don't waste time wondering why she did it. That question will rot your insides. Ask yourself why you let it go on. And then, build. Burn what needs burning. Cry if you must. Scream if it helps. But when the fire dies down, build. Build something so real, so solid, so yours, that no one like her can ever tear it down again. Because in the end, she didn't destroy me. She set me free.